Hey guys, all right, so we're pulled up on the data log. So this is a comparison. So this is the data log from my last run of taking the ACE out and established 26,675 RPMs. But before we go farther into this, usually I'll stick to the computer data logging. I've done the one with the phone, and I've had some mixed results with data and everything. So originally this was my first run. I had 26,675 RPM. So before we go any further, the biggest step is selecting your motor KV and your pole count. A lot of times, this will be forgotten and can skew up a lot of your numbers. So, here I have motor set for 1800 kV and poles are 6 poles. Gear ratio, basically no gearing because we're a direct gear. So now it's established. So basically my max out RPM is 26,675. Remember, this is 1800 running on 4S. So current with the 10 shock motor was 205 amps. And then watts as 2,900 watts. So the biggest thing you want to kind of look at is, one is your voltage drop, and then also what's known as a ripple. A ripple, is when you let off the trigger, voltage comes back and can shock the system. And the biggest thing is the voltage will shock the system. Sometimes, having weak batteries can cause a high ripple because, the batteries just don't have enough supply. And the biggest thing you want to be careful of is, the rule of thumb is, your ripple, here is 0.62. So basically whatever your voltage is, so basically let's take, 4S, which is 14.8, or here it's 16.7. So anything over, one over, hold on, I'm trying to do math in my head. So basically, if it's 14 volts, it's like 1.48. So 14 volts, 22 volts, it's 2.2. For your ripple, anything over that is bad, but usually it's under 10%, I believe it is, for your ripple. So if it's 4S 14.8, it's 1.4, 6S 22 volts, it's 2.2. So 0.62, like, this system's doing really good. So now after today's run, let's compare the two. And this is today's run is right here. So doing 31,104 4 RPMs. Again, I made sure our motor pole count, that's where we're getting to, 1800, 6 poles, no gearing, it's just direct drive. 31,104 should be pretty well close, at 225 amps. So this is the 10 shock motor, 1800 kV, and the ripple was 0.58, so still really, really low. And you can see how, like, the battery's droppage comes down, then kind of flat lines. Today's run 3 different times, ran it pretty hard, and then actually had an increase of speed as well from 52 to 55, so 3 miles an hour faster. So on the little bit tuning, I'm going to tune a little bit more, go back out probably on Thursday and get another video. Do apologize. I was testing and running with a new camera mount, and which caused some poor video quality. Apologize, but the next one, I get it all dialed in. Work with me on that one. So, but when you're reading these, the biggest important thing is make sure your pole and your motor KV count is right, so that way you can look at your RPM and then factor your percentage off that, which you want to be, from your loaded to unloaded is right around 8 to 10% of a difference. So for example, if it's let's say 30,000, then you want to be 8% less than that is where you want to be. If you're really under that, then basically possibly a motor swap, not motor, but possibly a prop swap, you know, changing your reduction of your diameter, changing the pitch. But to be most efficient, you kind of want to be right around that range. So this is where this guy is kind of performing, but you know, I'm going to show one more comparison. So this is a 10 shock motor, 1800 kV, 31,000. Now I originally had, it might be here, might not. Probably not. Maybe I could upload it a little bit later. But I had another one of the Castles here before I changed everything, which I was running the Dynamite 2000K. I might have thrown it into this. Might be it. Let's check it out real quick. Restoring it. So this was one, I believe I was running the Dynamite motor in this one. Just double check, 2006 pull. Yep, so this was the Dynamite. All right, so 27,809 RPMs with the Dynamite motor, 2000K. So it's supposed to be 200 more kV faster of a motor, but I was actually under that. And then, well under basically that 8 to 10% rule of thumb. So basically dropping the kV and going to this 10 shock motor, yes, I'm pulling more amps. You know, here's at 199 amps versus the 10 shock motor. Where do you go? Wrong one. 225 amps. So, you know, for sure, just all around, just a faster and hotter setup just with that 10 shock motor. I'm already gaining more performance, and I believe with the 2000 kV Dynamite, I was running right around, almost, I think it was about 37, 38. No, it was like 47 is what I was running originally, 47 miles an hour. So dropping the kV and going to the 10 shock, I actually had an increase in speed, and then I can actually play with some more, more settings. So basically, let's go back to so we're back at the 10 shock one last time. So reading off the data right here, 225 amps, which, this Castle AX, I can go well more on the amp load. My ESC temp was only 105. Not bad for multiple laps running there. So I can actually go higher on the temperature, which basically I can prop up and go to even a bigger propeller, even like a 1914 3-blade or something like that, and get a little bit more out of it and see kind of how you can read the data to get a little bit more out of it, and then you pretty much go from there. So this is kind of a quick, explaining of the data. You can kind of show the difference here. And then back on Thursday this week, I'm going to be going back out one more time running this. I got a couple more changes. I want to mess with the COG a little bit more. It was a little more flight heavy on the front end, but we'll get it all dialed in. So you kind of see a little bit of the progress. And this, this hydro here, it also kind of goes, with the rest of the hydros out there. They're all pretty much close to the same, getting the COG just right, playing with the setup. It's all the same thing. And just, kind of get it worked out. So, but this explains a little bit on more of the data and making sure, you have the pole and your motor counts and everything just right. And so that way you can actually get the corresponding, RPMs and everything you need. So anyway, hopefully you guys found this helpful. Again, Thursday, I'll be going back out and rerun the boat. Hope, get some better, video feed off this. The, new mount that I was using today, I didn't really care for it. But, I'm not going to give up on it just yet. Before I was using a GoPro on a hat. I'm just trying to find a little bit better system. But anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. Please like and subscribe.